especially white men. Dude, you're just as retarded. You live on a plantation. You are a white slave to the GOP, my friend, because you think these people give a shit about you. No, they do not care. But they know you're dumb enough that you will vote for them every election cycle because
he's actually kind of spitting right now.
Well, it's the lesser of two evils.
That's actually.
I don't know, man. I gotta like vote. I don't know who else to vote for, and they know that. They know that.
Dude, I love it when they say things that are correct on accident. Yo, true. But, like, anyway, when it comes to black people voting Democrat, it's not really the same thing, okay? Because at least black people sometimes get something out of voting Democrat, okay? White people, poor white people, I should say, average white people, they don't get dick from Republicans, ever. Ever. They just get fucked over. Over and over again. Okay? But black people, they do sometimes, and they get stuff from the Democrats, okay? And that's the point. You're supposed to get something from your representatives. You vote for them. You give them power. They're supposed to do shit for you. They're not supposed to do nothing, and then you roll over and just fucking just take it, okay? Like, no. No, it's not supposed to work like this, white people. So, you know, I like what he said there, because it, you know, number one, it's funny, okay, and it's kind of true, okay, but it's also kind of not true, because he's making a false equivalence here, and there is an important distinction. What up, Bone Smashers? What up, Moggers? It's me. We're back once again at the J-Star broadcast, okay. Today, I'm starting off kind of late once again, but I edited a fuck ton of video, so I should be able to start earlier tomorrow. I'm going to be doing a 24-hour stream, possibly on Friday. I will also be doing a debate Friday evening. Okay, so I was thinking, you know, I'll do a 24-hour stream at some point during that. Or, I mean, I'll do the debate during the 24-hour stream. Hopefully early on, because I'm gonna be tired, okay, but we'll see, okay, I may do it Saturday, may do it Sunday, I don't know, but anyway, I'm not gonna waste any more time. We're reacting to Tom Foe. Here we go.
73% of all H-1Bs come from India. Did you also know that Texas has the second highest concentration of H-1B workers in the U.S., or how the Asian Indian population in Texas has grown to over 500,000, and in the past 5 years alone, dozens upon dozens of them have run for public office and won, including mayors, judges, and city council members, 9 of which all across the state are foreign-born, and most of the population tends to vote Democrat, not including the private businesses like the State Bank of Texas that primarily only gives loans to Indians so that they can buy properties and assets. And when they were accused...
So all of these stats that he's mentioning here are pretty in line with other immigrant populations. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, foreign-born what he means by foreign-born is just naturalized. Okay, naturalized immigrants. That means they come here from another country and then they become a citizen. Okay, these people usually vote Democrat. This is because Democrats have postured themselves as the woke party. Okay, the progressive party, the pro-immigration party. Now, in reality, you know, like many conservatives and leftists love to remind me, the Democrats are, of course, you know, equally as genocidal as the Republicans. They're just better at hiding it. Okay, but Democrats, they love imperialism. They love that, but they try to pretend like they don't. Okay, meanwhile, Republicans, they just evil max. Okay, they're like, we love imperialism. We love doing it. It's awesome. In fact, now they're not even lying about the fucking extraction of resources from, you know, regimes that we topple. Okay, like they're just overtly saying, oh yeah, like we did Venezuela for the oil. We did Venezuela for the oil. Whereas 20 years ago, at least they like lied and said that Iraq was actually about WMDs. So that's the real difference, okay? But he is correct about this, okay? Of course, the framing here is that the evil brown people are fucking voting. They're voting in their interests, okay? And it's evil, and they want to take over, okay? They don't want to take over, man. They just they side with the party that presents themselves as non-xenophobic, anti-racist, because they are, in fact, brown people that are foreigners. Okay, but that brings me to my next point, where when you have foreign-born Americans, they move here, they become citizens, and they have children who are American-born citizens. Those children are a lot more likely, when they grow up, to be Republicans. Okay, and by the time you get to third and fourth generation, the assimilation, right, is complete. And like pretty much all of them, or a vast majority of them, are Republican. Now, this isn't consistent across all immigrant groups. Okay, so some immigrants from different countries, their children don't grow up to be Republicans at the same rate. Okay, but generally across the board, on average, this is how it works. This is what happens. But anyway, let's keep going.
Accused of doing so, they just came out and screamed racism.
Supporters echoed her claims, accusing Indian business owners for crashing the payments, welfare misuses, and monopolizing the sectors like hotels, gas stations, trucking, and even tech jobs. Some comments went too far as alleging fake degrees, H-1B visa fraud, and job outsourcing. That the State Bank of Texas is a private institution.
Yeah, so I think what she, obviously this is just a clip, okay, I haven't seen the whole video, but what this person seems to be talking about is all of the misinformation going around about fraud in America, welfare fraud in particular, and like various other allegations of fraud and like welfare abuse, like with H-1Bs. Okay, or I should say immigration abuse. Like this is true. Like there's a lot of misinformation going around about this, and it is specific this misinformation is specifically targeting brown people. Okay, immigrants from other countries, particularly the brown ones, the brown immigrants. Not as much the white ones, I don't think. Okay, we'll get that. We'll get to that. Okay, but for now, most of this shit revolves around the brown immigrants. Okay, yes, there was. I reacted to the fucking video, and my video about the Haredi population in New York kind of blew up. Okay, but again, that's a whole other conversation entirely. But what she's saying here is true. Okay, I agree with her. So if you want to pretend like that's not what's going on, and actually like all of this fraud is definitely happening, then I ask you, what is your evidence? Where is the evidence? Can I see it? And then, you know, I will add to that, okay, I'll add a whataboutism as well, because it's true. What about the Pentagon? Okay, I know, whataboutism, but like, look, dude, if we're gonna talk about fraud in America and how it's this big problem, well, okay, well, the immigrants aren't doing all the fraud. The fucking Pentagon is doing all the fraud. They are doing all the fraud. Okay, like the on the side of welfare, it's just a teeny little drop in the ocean compared to the amount of fraud going on at the Pentagon. So why is there no coverage? Why is there no talk? Why do people not talk about it? I wonder why the state media isn't talking about the Pentagon and how they just failed another audit for the fucking 12th year in a row, or 13th, or however many fucking years it's been. Holy shit. Yeah. Like that, this is why people aren't talking about it. Okay, because the media isn't talking about it, and the media isn't talking about it because it's run by the state. It is obviously run by the state. America is just controlling what we think, what we say. Our government is controlling us. Wake the fuck up, America.
Legally allowed to choose its business focus and operates under the US banking regulations. This backlash is not just about the legality at all. It is about the race. It's about racism. It's about Indians.
Or how about there being a huge push for more and more Indians to move to Texas and be used to leverage votes for political positions and financial incentives?
Yeah, man, because Texas is right on the verge of going blue. Yeah, they're just about to vote Democrat. They're just about to do it. They had to import more brown people to make it happen. Like, think about what you're saying, man. You're saying that they're importing brown people, okay, from other countries to vote, despite the fact that it takes many years for a foreigner, an immigrant, to become naturalized in this country, despite the fact that it takes like fucking 10 years on average, or maybe longer. I don't even know off the top of my head. But yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan, to fucking turn Texas blue. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, Texas votes red every time. I think the only district that either sometimes votes blue or like comes close is Houston. Okay, that's it. Like Houston, Dallas, maybe. This shit is just delusion, man. It's just delusion.
While simultaneously only helping out their own people through nepotism or legal pathways to grow their own population in the state, while not fully assimilating into the culture, but rather creating little India in every major city and even some of the smaller towns.
God, that was him reading. Okay, he was reading that. Look, man, I know how this shit works, man. You're such a liar, dude. You said in that other video, you said, what'd you say? Like, oh, I don't use a script. Oh, it's all off the dome. Like, yeah, sure. You never use a script, right? Gotcha. Anyway.
Where even in some of the smaller towns, the high schools are seeing massive graduation numbers, with most of them being from Indian families. And with all of this, what are the great leaders of Texas doing to stop it? Oh, they're helping them. Okay. Well, I guess you can say Abbott is not standing on business. Instead, he will be first in line at the new Texas annual cow shit throwing competition. Congratulations to Greg Abbott. He will be the first official Texas poop thrower. He will be remembered throughout history. Well, let's see if the Texas GOP is doing anything about all this crazy immigration.
My home is my castle. The Fourth Amendment says the government can't come in without a warrant. Well, in 2025, your phone and your laptop hold more private papers than every drawer in your house combined. So, Texas Republican Party says the same warrant requirement applies to your digital life, period.
This dude sounds like he learned how to speak English off fucking Google Translate 5 minutes before he filmed this video.
This didn't get rich by government picking winners or losers. We got rich because
No, he sounds pretty articulate. Like the last woman you showed, she was definitely understandable, but obviously her English needs a little bit of work. Okay, but this person is, and you didn't even say anything about her. This person is entirely articulate. Like I'm understanding him clear as day. Okay, the other person, I still understood her clearly, but like she had a little more of an accent. Okay, maybe fucking stupid Americans will be like, I can't understand you, I don't know what you're saying, white power. Okay, but like this guy, like nobody, like, what the fuck are you saying, man? You're like imagining things, you're hallucinating.
Texan with grit, a dream, and a pickup truck can build something great without begging Austin or Washington for permission or subsidy.
It's official, folks. Texas.
He just sounds like an American. He sounds like any other fucking American. Learned English 5 minutes ago. What the fuck are you saying?
This dude sounds like he learned how to speak English off fucking Google Translate 5 minutes before he filmed this video.
This didn't get rich by government picking winners or losers. We got rich because any Texan with grit, a dream, and a pickup truck can build something great without begging Austin or Washington for permission or subsidy.
It's official, folks. Texas is not becoming Mexico 2.0, but rather India 2.0. And there are many reasons for this, but you may be asking, why do you care so much? Why do you care so much, Tom? Why do you give a shit so much about Texas?
Because they're brown. That's why, because they're not
What's
they're
going
not
on?
white.
Well, I'll tell you. It seems as though the entire country is completely fixated on the Somali scandal in Minnesota, which has evolved into the ICE incident with all the protests, riots, what have you. Like, the entire country is just so fixated on those issues and on what's going on there,
Yeah.
not realizing that there are actually way more problems in the U.S. with immigration, and how most of it is from legal pathways that are leading this country to becoming a more balkanized and bastardized version of itself, where everyday America becomes less of a nation and more of an idea, or the death of an idea. But also,
This guy, we just reacted to a video yesterday where this guy was like, don't get distracted. Don't get distracted. And now he's like, focus on immigration, which is such a big problem in America. Like, yeah, man. Yeah, you're not falling for the distractions for sure. Where is your Epstein video? I have not seen any Epstein content from any of you guys. Why are you not talking about Epstein? They just fucking blocked they just fucking didn't. There was a bill that was passed, the Epstein Transparency Act or whatever, and they just came out like a week ago and were like, yeah, fuck that, we're not doing that. Suck it. You know, and like, you guys aren't even fucking talking about it, not even once. I haven't seen any of you talk about it. Why? They are protecting pedophiles. I wonder why. I wonder why you guys are talking so much about immigration, but not the elite pedophile cabal at the top of our society. I wonder.
so Texas, like it or not, is a very important state. I don't want to boost their egos or anything, but let's be real here. They have a bigger GDP than most countries, including Canada. They are at the forefront of the tech industry. They are an aerospace and aviation hub. They're also on the
I don't know about the forefront. I don't know about that. That I would have to give that spot to California, probably. California has Silicon Valley. Okay, now that's not to say Texas doesn't have a lot of tech innovation. Okay, fucking Intel came out of Texas, right? I think, or fucking Texas Instruments. Okay, Intel. Am I crazy? Actually, hold on. I gotta look this up now. Okay, no, not Intel. Austin. Oh, really? Oracle? There's another one. Okay, not Texas Instruments. I mean, obviously that one, but like, fuck, which one did I just say? I didn't look it up. Yeah, whatever.
cutting edge of innovation for military technology, and they have a massive defense footprint in that
This is
state.
true.
Not to mention, they hold the majority of the southern border. So like it or not, we gotta call a spade a spade. Texas is important if you are an American. It is a very important state, more so than a lot of other states. And I know people don't want to hear that, and I don't really like saying that too much, but it's just true. And it is being taken over on every level. Not by Mexicans, but by Indians, and the politicians on both sides are embracing that takeover. In fact, time and time again, these people take money from Indians and Pakistanis. In return, they do favors for them.
Bert, Frisco's first Indian city council member. I got a few questions for you too. Why did you use a consulting firm where the CEO was convicted of fraud? Why is one of your biggest donors an Indian in the North Texas real estate business that doesn't live in Frisco? Why is another one of your biggest donors a white resident in Dallas in real estate? Why does one of your biggest donors have 4 companies hiring H-1B employees? And why does one of your donors have 23 H-1B companies registered to one address? All in my questions there. We'll see if your constituents or any news outlets apply pressure and force you guys to answer these questions.
And so the reason I wanted to highlight this and I wanted to talk about this issue is because this is becoming a very big problem. The entire country has been talking about
come on, man. Like, none of that shit was... Like, yeah, they take... I would rather them be taking donos from H-1B companies than fucking APAC. The fuck? I'm just saying, bro, I don't really think it's that crazy. Most companies, especially tech companies in Texas, use H-1B. And, you know, the system, it's fucked up. It is real fucked up. The way that we treat immigrants in this country, okay, it's bad. Like, I don't like the H-1B system. I don't like how it's used to exploit migrant workers. Okay, I don't like any of the exploitation. But the fault isn't on the brown people. It is on our government and its, incessant non-regulatory practice, right? Not regulating these companies in terms of immigration and using illegal immigrant labor. But also the fault is on the companies themselves, who are, demonstrating a moral failure by exploiting these people. That's it.
H-1Bs and how it's a big issue and how they don't like it and they're against it. Well, a big portion of that is in Texas. And the H-1B issue is one of the main reasons why so many people have been calling for remigration in America. Even everyday Americans who are not terminally online, they have their own lives, they're doing their own shit, essentially. Even them, you see those people coming out calling for remigration because it is becoming an issue. And like I said, a big portion of that is happening in Texas. And I know we talk a lot about H-1Bs, and I've mentioned it several times in this video, obviously, but the biggest problem with all of this isn't even with the H-1Bs. Like, you could honestly get rid of them, and you would still have a problem. Like, a lot of these businesses that are getting loans, the state bank, all of these deals that are being cut, all these different things that are going on behind closed doors with Greg Abbott and Ted Cruz, which, by the way, fuck Ted Cruz, fuck Greg Abbott, fuck them, dude. They're obviously selling out Texans to the highest bidder. It is plain as day. And a lot of that is coming through the legal avenues. It's not coming through...
Ted Cruz, anytime there's a fucking statewide emergency, anytime there's a weather event...
Or even, illegals being here, it's from people who follow the rules, or at least who use the rules and bend them so they can gain advantage. And that's essentially what it is. You see people in the tech industry, and I have several people messaging me all the time that watch my channel, and they tell me, they're like, hey Tom, I actually work in the tech industry. I'm in Austin. I'm here. I've been doing this for X amount of years.
My people need me. I need to run away.
Like all Indian. And this one guy even told me in a message, he was like, this floor I work on, the majority of the people don't even speak English. And it's not all H-1Bs. A lot of it is, yes, but not all of it. That's what you get. You get these people preferring their own groups, hiring their own. Essentially, that's like what it is. You're going to have more and more of these people who don't speak English, and it's in an industry where communication is very critical, right? So what happens to all the white people when everybody starts not speaking American English? Well, the white people start getting phased out because you can't...
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that's what's happening. Yeah, white people be getting phased out. They're phasing it out. Okay, we're phasing out whiteness. Yes, wokeness wins again. Hooray. Yeah, we're phasing out white people. That's what we're doing. Dude, it's real hard. It's real hard talking to these
Speak the language of everybody else. You can't talk with all these people and communicate properly, so you become the problem.
True.
You become the issue. So they start hiring less of you. And that's another, reason, I'm sure, of why they only hire their own. And then you see all these different things outside of the tech industry with like the gas stations getting taxpayer dollars in Texas and all these different things. So a lot of the problems that we see with H-1B abuse or just abuse in general with these types of groups, a lot of it is happening in Texas. And we as a country, we as a nation, we've been pretty vocal about how we don't like any of this bullshit. It actually upsets us. Most of it is happening there. So it's, like I said, it's a very important state. And what you're going to start seeing in Texas more and more is it's going to become more like India. You're going to see more politicians getting into positions of power. And it's not just bigger cities. A lot of people would say, oh, we'll just move out of the big city, go to a smaller city. Well, they're going to the smaller cities as well. And they're taking over those cities. That's where they're becoming mayors. That's where they're getting a majority of their voters. That's where a lot of their kids are going to school. It is in the smaller cities. So they're taking over essentially the entire state. And a lot of people would say, oh, but Tom, it's only 500,000. And it's like, yeah, that's kind of the point. 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you would not have seen this much influence coming from these groups. You would not have seen this many people in positions of political power. A lot of these people who have run for office and have won, including the foreign-born Indians, became judges. So now you have a bunch of judges all throughout the state of Texas that are favoring their own. Now, a lot of people would say, well, there's no way you can prove that, Tom. There's no evidence that they're looking out for their own.
What? Yeah, that's true. There is no fucking evidence of that. So what do you have to say about it? Like, I don't understand. Like, you think that the fucking... Shit, I forgot to open my chat. You think that, fucking people come here, move to this country, go through the process of becoming a citizen, become a lawyer, go to law school and become a judge, and you think that they're doing all of that just to fucking give the few of their people that get arrested or whatever, or like end up in court, to like side with them to give them a favorable ruling? You think that's what's going on? Are you fucking these people, they went through all of that. They moved here and did all that shit. Went to law school. Oh, Donut. Yo, Donut. What up, bro? Chocolate Donut says, let's move to the UK. You and I purchase a flatmate? Fuck no, dog. Fuck no, I'm not moving to fucking Bing Bong Land. What the who do you think you're talking to? Yo, welcome back, Donut. It's been too long. Having you in my chat again is like a breath of fresh air. A lot of shit I'm going through, long story, so I won't even address it. That's okay, you can tell me when you're ready. You don't have to tell me anything, man. But I've missed you. I've missed you immensely. The J-Star broadcast has gone through some changes, bro. I don't know if you've noticed. There's some insane shit that's been going on in the world. You missed my announcement. Right now, I was snowed in. So I stayed in a room at work for 4 days. Finally back home. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I heard Ted Cruz fucking immediately flew to Cancun or whatever. He left the state. Why are you going through changes? I want things to stay the same. Change means we're getting older and leaving things behind. I don't like change. Oh, change is good, Donut. Trust me. Trust me, man. Change is good. Okay, you do realize that your aversion to change is reactionary in nature, right? Like that. Like this is that's what conservatism is. That's what tradition is. It's rejecting progress. Okay, don't worry. The J-Star broadcast is progressing. Okay, here. You know, I am in the middle of a react right now, but I'll show you. Wait, hold on. I got to turn on streamer mode, I think. Okay, it's already on. Alright, so this is the J-Star official server. We now have a rules section. That's right, we have a rules page. Okay, and I have officially banned the use of slurs in the J-Star, in the official J-Star server. I know, I'm a fucking lib. I just realized that I put, this is 7, but it should be 6. Oh well. I've been reading, wait, of course he did, and people still vote for him. Yeah, Ted Cruz moment. I've been reading every conversation you've had with that guy, and now Strata is in it. It's in it on it too. Yeah, but she just uses appeal to motion like a stupid fucking woke tard. Like the stupid. She doesn't use facts and logic like I do. Fucking Derek, he's been struggling. Okay, he has. But I just added these rules today, so it's only a matter of time before I have to ban him.
Kind. And all I would have to tell you is just wait, man. I guarantee you, 5 to 10 years from now, you're gonna see plenty of examples of them doing just that. All right, and I mean, why wouldn't they? And this is not stopping. This is ramping up. Greg Abbott, all these different people, they're taking all this money, all this funding, putting these people in positions of power. And who is this favoring? Do you think this is favoring the white Texans? Do you even think this is favoring the Mexicans that live there? If you think it does, I got news.
No, it's favoring the Indians. No. You should do a video call with him. He won't do it, but I want to see. So where he actually, it was his idea. Okay, he wanted to debate me, and so now we're doing a debate on Friday evening. Okay, we will be debating. He picked the first topic, and it's going to be about trans people. I believe the words he used were like what we will be debating about is whether men can turn into women, is the way he put it. Okay, so that's what we'll be debating about. The stream is lagging right now. That's okay. But yeah, it should be pretty exciting. I have a couple other topics planned, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I haven't told him yet, but you know, no slurs allowed in the debate. Okay, he has used slurs before, as you know. I was allowing it at first. I probably should not have done that. Okay, my bad. I'm not a experienced Discord moderator, and you know, free speech and all that, yada yada. So at first I was just like deleting most of the slurs that he used, but I know I missed some of them. But anyway, now I have it so it automatically deletes them now. So yeah, but anyway, I doubt he'll show his face. People like that, they don't show their face. Okay, he's never gonna show his face, man. But anyway, I will be giving him a platform. He will be able to speak his mind as long as he doesn't say any slurs. He can get as racist as he wants with it. You know, I don't like it, but it's a debate. So, you know, marketplace of ideas. Like, you know, keep in mind, like, if I were a content creator a few years ago, I would never do this. I would never debate a Nazi. I would never do that. But now these guys have, you know, they have motion. They have like some. But I don't know why he doesn't make content himself, because he said he used to in the past. It's just that in the past he obviously found no success, but he actually could now. Like if he started making content again. So because I think people are more warmed up to his ideas. I think that he could get a niche audience. You know, I still don't think he would ever have mainstream appeal, of course. But certainly he could, you know, but anyway, don't tell him I said that. Don't let him find out about that. I don't want him to actually do that. Of course. Missed the stream. I'm kind of lagging due to my weakling Wi-Fi, most likely from the storm. No, it's me. It's me. The stream is lagging right now. I don't know why. Usually it doesn't do it this time of day, but it's alright. It's alright, let's continue.
For you, trust me, it will not. Indians and Mexicans.
Yo, Thomas is at 17k subscribers now? Bro, he got like 2,000 subscribers in the last day or so. That's crazy.
For the most part, don't like each other, bro. It's like, I don't know if you guys fucking understand that or get that, but that's the thing. They don't like each other that much. Maybe some of them, yeah, sure, but a majority, no. So this is really kind of setting them up for positions of power, because it's not like they're just going to Texas and opening up gas stations or whatever. They're being put in positions of power legally, whether they're becoming a judge or they're joining city council and running banks and dishing out loans. What are these loans for? These are for people to obtain assets, buy land, open businesses, and they only give loans and they only give business to their own. So you already have examples of them favoring their own kind.
Happening.
And why wouldn't they? They're not going there to assimilate. They're not going there to become Texan. They're not going there to become American. They're going there to create their own groups. They're going there to establish their own.
Like, do you think that white people don't get approved for business loans? What? Yeah, they do. They do. All you need to get a loan from the government to start a business is, do you even need good credit? I mean, I think so. I think you need, like, decent credit. But not really even. Okay, that's just how it works. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, like, getting a business loan is one of the easiest loans to get. Period. I could be wrong about that, but, you know, I think so. Anyway. Why do white people say, if you don't love this country, then get out, and yet when the table turns, they refuse to leave? Tons of countries that are mostly white, so why not adapt there? Yeah, I mean, it's that you make a really good point, man. It is very frustrating when they say that, and then they turn around and they're like, but here are my issues with the country. There's not enough white people or whatever. We're getting replaced. And it's like, well, okay, well, it sounds like you don't really like the country either, so why don't you leave, okay? And the answer is the reason that we don't leave is because we want to change it. We want to change the country, okay? You see, conservatives used to pretend like they didn't want to change the country, like they wanted to keep it the same, okay? And then the more extreme ones wanted to return to tradition, okay? They wanted to, like, go back to the 50s or whatever. Okay, but now, like, all of the conservatives are like, we need to change the country. We need to return to, like, the way it was years ago, or whatever. And like, because nobody likes the state of affairs right now. Nobody likes the country right now. So that argument especially doesn't work anymore. But I feel like I've been hearing it more and more. Like, people are like, why don't you go to China? Why don't you go to China then? They're all communist over there. Why don't you do that? And it's like, well, you know, I like China, but they don't got freedom of speech. They don't got the right to bear arms. They don't have it. They don't have the Constitution. Like, I like the Constitution. Okay, particularly I like the First Amendment. I like the Third Amendment. I like the Fifth Amendment. I like the 14th Amendment. Okay, like, these are some of my favorite amendments. Okay, China don't have those amendments. They don't got no amendments. They don't got no Constitution. Okay, but at the same time, okay, China has policy that I really like, that I think we should do here. Like the way that they actually punish their billionaires when they kill a fuck ton of people. Okay, whereas here, if you're a billionaire, if you're even just a CEO, and you kill thousands and thousands of people, oopsie, because you wanted to like increase revenue by 2% this quarter, you just get a slap on the wrist. So it is really annoying. I completely agree with you there. Let's
culture in America. And, it's not just happening in Texas. I get that. It's happening all over. But Texas is a pretty good example of it because it's happening on all levels. And you have your own leaders. You have your own leaders helping them. All of these fucking idiots that live in Texas that vote for Greg Abbott and love Greg Abbott and love the Republican Party, and they think, oh yeah, they represent us. They'll fight for us. It's like, motherfucker, they're literally selling you out. They're literally selling you out. I've said this several times on this channel, but when I talk about people who love voting Republican and think, oh, well, it's just a right versus left issue, and I know I use right and left all the time.
I love it how they use this rhetoric. They're like, yeah, they're selling you out, but then they follow it up with, and that's why they're replacing you with the brown people, and the solution to this problem is to get rid of the brown people. Like, I don't think so, man. I think the solution is to remove the traitors from office. Okay, the traitors which betrayed us, the people, the traitors which we elected, the people which we elected to not betray us, then betrayed us for the rich people. Okay, that's it. That's it. Like, I try to keep my rhetoric very, very plain, very simple, very consumable, very palatable. Okay, and that's just like the simplest way I can think to put it. Okay, the rich people, they fund the campaigns, they get they get these guys elected. Okay, then they get elected and they do the policies for the rich people, and they do not do legislation for the poor people. They do not throw crumbs at the poor people. The only politicians that throw crumbs at the poors are the Democrats, the Democrats. Okay, that's it. That's it. So, I agree. Like, hold your representatives accountable. Not the fucking brown people. It is not the fault of the immigrants. They are just trying to make something of themselves, like every other American. They are just like you and me. Okay, even if they're not from here, even if they weren't born here. They moved here, they became citizens, they start families, just like you and me. That's it.
The terminology, I use it all the time, but like, this isn't right and left. That isn't a thing. It's two sides of the same shekel, my friend. Like,
no, I keep hearing this too. It's not right versus left. It's all an illusion. Wrong. Democrats versus Republicans. That's an illusion. That is the illusion, because they are the same. They are both the same. But right and left-wing politics are not the same. They are not the same. It's just that Democrats and Republicans, they serve the same master, which is rich people. It's rich people. It's just rich people. That's it. And that is right-wing, bro. That is right-wing politics. So all that is to say, the Democrats are right-wing, the Republicans are right-wing, and even the liberals are right-wing. The only people who aren't right-wing are the fucking commie terrorists, the fucking evil commie woke tard sissy liberal terrorist. Okay, that's it. Anyway.
All the same bullshit. Okay, you have the Democrats that are replacing you with illegals, and then you have the Republicans that are replacing you with legals. All right, they're both replacing you. And all of these idiots who love the Republican Party and the GOP, and they think that they're going to stand for you and fight for your family and your family's future. It's like, no, they've completely abandoned you. And they actually think you're retarded. They think you're an idiot. They think you're stupid enough, because the way people talk about like black people when it comes to voting for Democrats, they talk about it all the time. They say, oh, well, black people are just living on the plantation, the Democrat plantation, and they're always voting for the Dems. It's like the Republican Party thinks the same way about white people. Especially white men. Dude, you're just as retarded. You live on a plantation. You are a white slave to the GOP, my friend, because you think these people give a shit about you. No, they do not care. But they know you're dumb enough that you will vote for them every election cycle because...
He's actually kind of spitting right now.
Well, it's the lesser of two evils.
That's actually...
I don't know, man. I gotta, like, vote. I don't know who else to vote for. And they know that. They know that...
Dude, I love it when they say things that are correct on accident. Yo, true. But, like, anyway, when it comes to black people voting Democrat... It's not really the same thing, okay? Because at least black people sometimes get something out of voting Democrat, okay? White people, poor white people, I should say, average white people, they don't get dick from Republicans, ever. They just get fucked over. over and over again. Okay, but black people, they do sometimes, and they get stuff from the Democrats, okay? And that's the point. You're supposed to get something from your representatives. You vote for them. You give them power. They're supposed to do shit for you. They're not supposed to do nothing, and then you roll over and just take it, okay? Like, no. No, it's not supposed to work like this, white people. So, you know, I like what he said there, because it, you know, number one, it's funny, okay, and it's kind of true, okay, but it's also kind of not true, because he's making a false equivalence here. And there is an important distinction.
That's where you're going to be every 4 years. So you vote for them anyways, and they still just fuck you over. And they make money doing so. They get rich. And with them getting paid and making all this money, and eventually with the population of Indians getting bigger and bigger in Texas, what are these two groups going to start doing? You think they're going to start advocating for things that make your life better? No, they're going to start fighting for the Indians. Why? Because they want their votes. What do you think is going on with the Texas GOP putting this Indian dude on their fucking front page? Because they're already trying to placate to them. They know that a majority of the Indians that are coming to Texas are going to vote Democrat, and so they are going to start trying to win them over. And a lot of people would say, well, as long as...
And it's stupid. It's so fucking stupid. The fucking Republicans, they do this shit, and it hardly ever works. Okay, I'll admit it sometimes works. Okay, it especially, well, it really only works on immigrants that come from socialist shitholes. Okay, like Cuba. Okay, places like that. But, like, generally, you're only going to get a brown person to vote Republican if they're homegrown. Okay, they got to be born here. Again, that's not always true. Okay, you got the Cubans. Okay, probably other ethnicities as well. But that's just off the dome. That's the only one I can think of. But anyway, it's just, they keep doing this, and it never works. It never fucking works, ever. Okay, only in those few instances. So I really don't know why they waste time doing this, because it also pisses off the base. Which is what's going on here. You know, it's like, oh, why are you messaging to the brown people? What about the white people? What about the white people? You know, and, like, it's true. It's true. Like, they're supposed to be messaging to the white people. They're supposed to be saying, like, we got you. You know, we're gonna do racism. Okay? Like, you're not supposed to do this. It's that simple.
Indians just want freedom and justice and the Second Amendment and barbecue. Then it's
Simple,
okay, we can
really.
all get along. And it's like, that sounds all well and good, but wait until the actual cultural differences come into play. And then you're going to see the GOP. You're going to see which side they're actually going to pick. And I'll give you a spoiler alert. It's not going to be you. It's not going to be you or your family. It's going to be them. Why? Because they're getting paid. They're making money. They're doing all these deals. You think this is just happening for no reason? That's where it's going. And it's happening in Texas. And what do you see with all these leaders over there in Texas? With Greg Abbott, with Ted Cruz? You know, what do you see them doing? I mean, Ted Cruz is leaving the state. I'm more than sure. Texas is fixing to get another cold front. So if you live there, in all honesty, as like a side note, please, like, actually prepare, because there's a big cold front coming through there. I don't know if there's gonna be snow or whatever, but when you guys get snow, you guys get like
there's gonna be snow there. Oh yeah. See, I knew this guy was a Midwesterner. Okay, I still think he's from Ohio. I think he's not like actually Midwestern. I think because I get him mixed up. Okay, I'm a Southerner. That's my bad. Okay, I think this guy's from Ohio or some shit.
And it ends up very bad for a lot of people. And Ted Cruz loves going on his vacations when that shit's happening. He loves not helping, so he's probably gone. But that's happening like in the next couple days. So if you do live there, please take care of yourself and your family. But that's a side note. But back to the main issue with the immigration is like that's kind of a problem. Is there really is no
you know, protecting yourself in volatile weather events that are caused by climate change. That's you know, fuck that. Let's talk about the brown people.
But he
now.
was actually standing up
let's
for their
get back
own.
to
There really
business,
is no
bro.
actual party that is fighting for the Texan or the average American. And you could say the same thing about most states. And that's why it's incumbent upon us to kind of be vocal about these issues and to speak up for yourself, because I can assure you these people are not doing it for you. They're not looking out for you. They're not protecting you. So you see these groups like Patriot Front. They're one of them. I think they're in northern Texas. I'm sure I saw like something about how they have a big group over there. And they're actually creating communities, parallel systems
we
to the
love
government.
those guys,
And they're looking out for their own. They're creating their own businesses, hiring their own people, basically doing all the same
Harassing
things all these
brown
immigrants are
people,
doing. And from what I
intimidating
hear, they're
them.
doing quite well. So, you know, more props to them. There needs to be more
Yeah,
groups
more
like
props,
that,
yeah.
not only all over Texas, but really just in every
we
state.
need more
And I
of
mean, the
that.
name of the game,
You're
the
so
only way
right,
we're
dude.
really going to be able to kind of fight against this, besides having these conversations, being vocal, calling for remigration, we do need to start kind of playing the same game. Because what are these people doing? How are they able to get in positions of power? How are they able to, you know, kind of take over these communities? Well, they're just looking out for their own. And honestly, you can get mad, you can get pissed off, but it's like, we're just not playing the same game. It's as simple as that. White people are playing checkers. All these other people are playing chess. White people are told it's bad for you to look out for your own. It's bad for you to, you know, nepotism is bad. You shouldn't only hire your family members. You shouldn't only look out for your own people. And it's like you see it with all these different groups. They do it every single day. Hispanics do it, Indians do it, black communities do it, and that's how they survive. That's how they thrive. That's how they actually grow. So it's time for white people to start doing the same things, whether it's Return to the Land, Patriot Front, whatever group. And, I'm going to say that somebody's going to get pissed off that I even mentioned those two groups. Somebody's going to get mad. And then there's also going to be somebody else who's going to think, see, Tom, I knew you would want to join. I'm not saying I'm joining either of those groups. I'm just saying I respect what they're doing, and I like the idea. And I think there should be...
Do you have any evidence that the brown people are stopping the white people from working at certain places because they're not also brown? My point is, this isn't fucking happening. You're making this shit up.
100%. I've seen this so many times the past couple weeks with people talking about population dynamics in America and with how back in the day when you had a country that was...
By the way, what he was saying about communities of, an ethnicity, an ethnic community, they do uplift each other. They do stick together. It's just that they don't do it in that way. Okay, like they live together, they run their households together, they have a bunch, like, it's not like most communities and smaller households where, like, you have a small family with the 2.5 kids in the big McMansion. Okay, it's like immigrants, they stick together. They typically like to live in urban areas where they're proximally close to each other. Okay, they're not so spread out, and they take care of each other. Okay, in their living conditions. So it's not really all about the job and the career. It's more like about making sure everyone is nourished and they have the things that they need to pursue higher education, to like grow up to be strong and intelligent. That's it.
It was majority white. You had a bunch of white people that didn't really think of race because they didn't need to, because you lived in a country where it was the majority of your own race. But as we move further into this melting pot philosophy that America's been governed by, you're going to see more and more people consciously become aware of race, recognizing the differences, not only on a cultural level, but on a racial level. And people will become more and more aware. So there is actually kind of an upside to that, is with this type of change, it does force people to kind of wake up to what's going on. Now, obviously, it's not going to be everyone, but I'm just letting you know it's that there are positives to this. You have to become aware of the fact that all these different groups here are just not playing the same game. They're looking out for their own, and white people need to start doing the same thing. But one day, hopefully sooner than later, you're going to have to wake up to that. And I think a big part of that is realizing that your leaders in the Republican Party and in the GOP do not give a shit about you. They do not care about you. They really don't. Don't believe the bullshit. Don't believe all these idiots that are saying, trust the plan. You don't understand. It's actually 50D chess, and Trump is actually, he's on it. He's working 38 hours a second, all right? Don't trust those fuckers, man. They're crazy.
That's what you guys were saying. I know you weren't making content, a year and a half ago, but that's what the gripers were saying a year and a half ago. Now you've changed your tune. But now Nick Fuentes is backtracking. And it looks like you're not going to do the same, or at least not yet. Because I've noticed you have stopped talking about Nick Fuentes. You've stopped referencing him. And I don't blame you. I mean, he's particularly radioactive right now. And I wonder why Nick Fuentes is pivoting right now, and I wonder if you will also do it for the same reasons if you continue on this path of success in your
and they're delusional. It is imperative that you become as realistic as possible, and that includes understanding that these people in positions of power that are supposed to be your leaders, that are supposed to look out for you, whether you live in Texas or you live in Florida or wherever, they have failed you. In fact, they have done so willingly. They do not give a shit about you. I say that over and over because it's true. And every time I say that, there's always some idiot who wants to argue about that. So for the time being, I'm going to keep repeating that over and over. And in regards of Texas, what are you going to start seeing? You're going to start seeing the culture completely change. I'm sure it already has in a lot of major cities. I'm sure there are people there that when you go to the grocery store, you start looking around and you get the feeling that you don't live in America. You get the feeling that you don't really live in your own neighborhood. You feel like you're visiting a different country. And you're going to start seeing that all over the place, not just in the grocery stores, but in the theme parks and in the school system and at the football games and at the parades and at the competitions and in your own neighborhood. You're going to start feeling more and more out of place. You're going to start feeling more and more outnumbered. And it's because you are. And that's why it's important for us to start talking about these things now, because the more this goes unnoticed, and by the way, that's engineered. It's not like people are doing this willingly. It is being engineered for you not to notice this shit. But the more it does go unnoticed will lead to the more power they will be able to attain, the more influence they will be able to gain. It's like you could make an argument that some Indian who was born here could run for Congress or run for local office or whatever, and they could win. Sure, fine, whatever. But a foreign-born, somebody who was born in India, somebody who grew up in India and never even lived here until they were like an adult in certain cases, they can become a judge in America. Really? And I know some idiots watching this and they're saying, oh, Tom, that's actually not a bad thing. That's actually a good thing. You're actually a fucking bighead. It's like, shut the fuck up. It's like, shut up, dude. You're a cuck. All right. Nobody cares what you have to say. But it's like, really, to the people who are not cucks, who are listening to me now, to the Texans, to the non-Texans, think about it. Do you really see that as a good thing? Somebody who wasn't even raised in this country, wasn't even born here, has a completely different heritage and upbringing, can just come here?
Yes. Yes, it is a good thing. It's good for our economy. Okay, that is a fact. That is a fact. You can fucking say it's because they work cheaper. Okay, that's true. That's true. It's not just because they work cheaper. You know, the way I would put it is their economic output per capita is higher. Okay, because it is. It's not just that they work cheaper. They also work longer. They work more. Okay, they do. These are statistical facts about immigrants on average, immigrant laborers, okay? And anyway, again, the exploitation side of it is extremely problematic, and I think it needs to be addressed, it needs to be changed, of course. But, you know, if the question is, like, are they contributing to are they a good thing for America? The answer is yes, of course they fucking are. Are you kidding me? They are the backbone of our economy. That's it. Okay, now we're brutalizing them, and part of that is to just make them work harder and be more scared and work for less, okay? Produce more economic output. Okay, that's what this is all about, man.
Here and become a judge or a mayor of a city, like what the fuck are we doing? And in Texas, you're going to slowly start to see it more and more over the next couple years. It's going to start to turn into India because these people are gaining power, they're gaining influence, they're gaining assets, and they're helping out their own. And you shouldn't be mad at them for that because that's what they should be doing, because that's what groups should do, is they should look out for their own and take care of their own. And that's what white people need to get through their thick fucking skulls. It's not a bad thing. In fact, in times like these, it's actually important for survival, is to take care of your own family. Doesn't mean you have to be some violent maniac, but maybe you should start playing by their rules. Maybe you should start playing their game because they're the ones who are winning. And what's happening over in Texas, what's happening with white Americans all over, we're losing. So there's something to be said. That's some food for thought. But I mean, that's pretty much it. I had to kind of put a spotlight on all this stuff going on in Texas because, dude, there's always something popping up. There's always somebody sending me something in regards to what's going on over there. And it's actually kind of alarming because, like I said, Texas is the forefront of technology at this point. A lot of the aerospace and aviation parts come from there. Like, they make a lot of planes. They're building a lot of technology, including for the military. They have a bunch of military bases there. They control basically the majority of the southern border. So there's a lot of important parts that Texas has and Texas is in control of. And the more and more we start to lose that to these groups, to these Indians, is going to come back and bite us in the ass later on. It just is. So we need to start talking about these things now. We need to become aware. If you know somebody who lives in Texas, please share this video with them. Like, send it to them.
The Indians are taking over the plane manufacturing.
I'm sure most of them have kind of started to figure out what the fuck is going on here. Because don't be surprised 5 years from now if you don't have Christmas parades in Texas anymore. You have poop festivals and you have Diwali or whatever the fuck. You don't even have Christian churches anymore. You have fucking Vishnu temples or whatever the fuck they do. Hindu temples. They're going to be praying in the streets. And I understand, like, Islam is a big thing as well. But from what I've seen, and I've done a lot of, like, kind of research into this shit, it's actually more alarming on the Indian side. Islam stuff with, like, all the mosques in Texas, that is, you know, still kind of an issue. But it's not even on the same level. And that's another thing. A lot of people will talk about Islam and they'll talk about the mosques, but they don't talk about the Indians. And that's kind of where all this is coming from. You see, like, the Trump admin banning all these places where people can immigrate from or even visit from or wherever, and you never see India. You notice that? You see Muslim countries, you see all these third world countries, but you never see India. India's never on there. I wonder why. Could it be there's a conspiracy afoot? Could it be there's some bullshit going on and they're literally selling your country to these people in some way? I mean, they are gaining a lot of power. That is the India. And that's kind of where all this is coming from. You see, like, the Trump admin banning all these places where people can immigrate from or even, you know, visit from or wherever.
And you never... Yeah. There are reasons for this. Okay, India... you know, I'm glad you brought this up. Okay, yeah, of course. Of course, India is one of our greatest allies. Okay, and they are gearing up. India's... Look... I am not equipped to talk about India. I am equipped to talk about many foreign countries and our international relations with them. Okay, but India in particular, I don't really know a lot about their political system. I know that there are many different ethnic groups in India, many different languages in India, and somehow they make it work. I don't understand it. Can you imagine if in America there were like you know, people talk about like English and like, oh, we got all these Spanish speakers here and they don't want to learn English. Okay, but like, can you imagine if in America you had like major ethnic groups, like large swaths of the population are made up of these ethnic groups, and there's like 15 different languages going on, okay, or like major languages, and they're all completely different. Like, India is insane. Okay, I don't know how they do it. Props to them. Okay, but anyway, they are a great ally of the United States. And, my understanding is that the constituency of India, they want more from their government. They're not getting enough from their government, just like in most other countries. Okay, and they're like going through their own civil unrest and their struggle. Okay, just like most other countries. But anyway, the reason that we get so many immigrants from India is for multiple reasons. They are a great ally. They have done a decent job at bolstering their education. So you have a lot of people in India who have the skills necessary to do, higher level work relatively. I'm not gonna sit here and say that like India's population is the most educated and it's like way more educated than like the Western world. Maybe more than America, maybe. But like my point is that they, considering how impoverished a majority of the nation is, they have really good educational outcomes. Okay, relatively. So that's why we extrapolate so many immigrants from their country. They're smart people. Okay, they do good work. They do IT. Okay, they're big in the tech field. It's good stuff. Okay, we love that. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
You never see India. You notice that? You see Muslim countries, you see all these third world countries, but you never see India. India's never...
Oh yeah, also, Americans aren't as primed to do Indian racism. Okay, like Americans, say what you will, it's gotten better. Okay, but Americans are still pretty primed for the Muslim racism. Okay, the anti-Islam, Islamophobia. Okay, many Americans are still receptive to this. So it's a lot easier to get away with that, and also the economic output that we get from the immigrants of the Muslim countries, it's not the same as India. It's not as good. Okay, let's be for real. Okay, and that's that's a long conversation. Why that is, why India is like this, but the countries next to it are not. Okay, in the Middle East. But that's it, man. Okay, like obviously.
Ever on there. I wonder why.
Good job.
I wonder why.
You figured it out. Yeah, it's a conspiracy.
It's a conspiracy. There's some bullshit going on, and they're literally selling your country to these people in some way. I mean, they are gaining a lot of power. That is to be said. So that's why I wanted to make this video. That's all I had to really say about it. But what do you guys think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? If so, I would like to hear your opinions below. And if you did enjoy the video, like, comment, and subscribe. Like I said earlier, share this video with a friend. Follow me on Rumble. Follow me on X. I'm always on X.
Yeah, I'm not going to do any of that dipshit. God damn, this has 4 more minutes.
It's a lot of fun on X. And with Rumble, you guys really have to get on there because I post exclusives on Rumble. In fact, I posted one last week about BlackRock and how the BlackRock CIO is being considered and interviewed by Trump to become the new leader of the Federal Reserve. I don't know if you guys knew about that, but that was something that happened last week. I made a whole video, but it was a Rumble exclusive. And it's free. But all you gotta do is go over there and follow me on there and you can watch the videos. And you might ask, well, why do you do Rumble exclusives? Well, because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to stay on YouTube forever. And also, even if I do get to stay on YouTube forever, on Rumble, I'm free, dude. I can say whatever the fuck I want to say. And it's awesome. I can talk about anything I want to talk about. And it's awesome. So, yes, we are building a second platform over on Rumble. You're gonna get exclusives there. That's just how I'm doing it. And guys, besides the exclusive from last week, oh my gosh, this is kind of like an update for the channel. If you were just here for the Texas stuff, you can click off the video. It's fine. This is just me talking. But guys, oh my gosh, dude, did I come through for you guys?
Yeah, actually, I am done with this. Anyway, I miss you, Donut. I miss you,